Hey, I hope you are doing great. Today, we're going to talk about something you might not know, counting with CSS only. We usually use counters in CSS to add numbers to heading in articles or to customize list numbers. But there are a few less known use cases too. For example, when you select some items, you can count how many of them are currently selected. And we can use the same idea to animate a number. We define a start value, we define an end value, and the CSS handles the transition between the two. It looks like JavaScript, but it's only CSS. So let's see how to implement it. We will start with a really simple example. We'll have only one div, and within this div, we'll try to have a number that goes from 0 to 100. Now, to do that, the first thing to declare is a custom property. In this custom property, we have to declare three things. The first one is the type of the property. Here, we want it to be a number. Only numbers can be animated like we want. Then we have to set an initial value. Here, we want it to begin at 0 and go through 100. And the third one inherits through. It makes the custom property available to nested elements. Without it, you often need to set the variable again on the child. Here, since we have only one div and only one element, we could have put true or false. Next step, we will create the animation, so we declare a keyframe, we named it countup, and we say this variable goes to 100. Go from 0, the initial value, to 100. Next, we'll declare in the pseudo element of this div a new property called counter reset. It's really simple to understand, and this is the property that will allow us to display the numbers. The first property is the name of your counter, so you can name it however you want. Here I use count. At the start it will be 0, and as we progress it will go to 100. But just with that, nothing happens. We have to tell the browser to display it. For that, since we are in a pseudo element, we can use the content property. Inside this content property, we will call our counter, count, so when it will increment, it will display in the content the new values each time. For now, again, nothing works because we didn't bind the animation. Last step is to link the animation to our counter. To do that, we declare an animation property, and within you add four things. The first one is the animation name. The second one is the time you want your animation to run. Then how the animation will run. It's linear if you need an is, out, is in, both. And then one mandatory thing, the forward keyword. This means you keep the last frame of your animation visible. If you don't add a forward keyword, your number will finish at 0. It will go from 0 to 100 and goes back to 0. And just like that, your counter, when you refresh the page, goes from 0 to 100. Now if you want to change the initial number, or if you want to change the end number, you just have to tweak this initial value here. You can begin at, 10 and finish at 10,000. And this will work instantly. Now let's talk about accessibility. For now, it's really not accessible. If a screen reader goes to this page, it will see nothing, just an empty div, and that's it. To simulate the content, we can add an ARIA label of the final value of your numbers. That way, if a screen reader parses your website, it won't see any of the stuff we did, but it will know that there is a value of 100 here, with this ARIA label. And last thing about accessibility is, as always, a prefer reduce motion media query. If a user has enabled this option in their browser, that means they don't want animation when they navigate a website. We just have to say, if the user has prefers reduced motion enabled, we disable the animation and show the final counter value directly. That way, we have a counter that is accessible and working with just CSS. Now, let's see a bit more advanced component. So for this example, I've created a small component with 3 dynamic values. The first one will go from 0 to 1025, second one from 0 to 18, and the third one from 0 to 10. The important part of the HTML is this. We have a small container on each numbers named count with a specific class of count, the name of the counter, Pokédex, types, stones, and inside it we have a span that will represent our animated number. For the CSS part, it's almost the same as we saw before. We have to declare a property for each one of the animated numbers. So we declare a property named Pokédex, second one types, and third one stones. Each one of them has a syntax property to know the type of the variable. So each one of them is a number. Their initial value is 0, and they all inherit true. For the keyframe, we can group all the 3 variables inside one keyframe. Our keyframe countup will go from 0 to Pokédex 1025, types 18, stones 10. And then for each one of this counter, we will define a counter reset, each one with its own variables. So all the counter reset will have the same name, count, but their values will be associated with their own variables. And lastly, in this pseudo element, we have to display these numbers. So we declare the content property with the counter count for each one of them. And then we have to animate. So animation, the name of the animation, the time of the animation, the curve of the animation, and add the forwards keywords at the end to make it display the last frame. And just like before, use the prefers reduced motion media query to be sure that the component is accessible. It's really simple and it can have a great effect on your websites. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with your fellow developers, and subscribe to stay updated. Drop your suggestions or feedback in the comment section below.